how to service your Harley at home.
Okay, here we are. We're going to do a service on Jason's bike.
All 3 holes.
All 3 holes. He has the tray underneath set up to collect the oil. He's also got his oil filter catchment in place.
Okay, 3 hole service. 3 plugs underneath. Let's get them off and get it oil draining. Primary plug.
Wow, look at that oil. It looks really black.
Alright, now around the other side.
Okay, that's the second one done. Now the third one.
Okay, take your engine oil fill cap out. Take a bit of the pressure away so that the air lets the oil out. The oil will come out a bit faster. And also crank your gearbox fill open. That also allows the oil to come out a bit faster. Okay, let's get the oil filter off. Drain for a bit.
So we've got it tilted out so it drains. On the air filter off. Oil filter gone.
Derby cover.
Look at that mechanism inside the primary.
Otherwise known as the clutch.
The clutch.
Okay, let's clean up these drain plugs and inspect them. Put new O-rings on. There's the drain plug magnets on the bottom, so you check the magnets for any shards or anything like that. Okay, picking tool. Good to get the old O-rings off. Just get under, get the old O-rings off.
Those O-rings look okay though.
Yep, but for the cost of them,
good to change.
Change them every time.
Magnet there. Looks a little bit shard. Where do the shards come from?
Well, little bits of flakes of metal, tiniest little bits can come on the plug, and you don't have to worry about them because they're just bits of metal from wear in the engine. And it's rare to see anything that's smaller than a real little fine metal shaving or filing. That's pretty normal. If you see bigger bits, then you've got to question, is there something wrong in your engine?
So that's why there's magnets there?
Yeah, just to double check. So look at the plugs from each individual area and obviously look at their condition. So if you see shards on one, you'll know what area of the engine to look at. The engine, the gearbox or the primary. Put the plugs back in now. They've been cleaned. They've had new O-rings put on. We'll just pop them in place, hand tight for now. Then we'll get the drain plug out of the way and we'll torque them. On the primary and the engine.
Yeah.
Hand tight. And up there is the final one, another gearbox.
Beautiful.
Now they're hand tight. We have no more dripping. Now we're going to torque them. Just going to nip them first.
Setting that at
15 foot-pounds.
15 foot-pound. Till it clicks, eh? And we will go ahead and torque the other two plugs. Getting the correct measurement of oil.
That's 1 quart. You've got to check this level with the plug screwed in. Beautiful. Okay, now to refill the primary. Again, 1 litre or 1 quart or 960 mil, equivalent to close enough to a litre. Drip, drip, drip is enough for me. Now check your primary seal. You can replace these, but this one is in beautiful condition as it was replaced last time. So we'll just make sure that has a little bit of oil on it. Beautiful. Make sure you got enough fluid in. Is just have a look down the bottom, and of the clutch outer basket, the oil should just be touching the bottom of the basket, which it is. Given the bolts are clean, to get any old Loctite or anything like that off. Making sure they're clean to go in the thread, in the hole, and then also the threads are clean.
Time to put the derby cover back on.
There's always a debate whether to put Loctite on your derby cover. Some say put a tiny little dab, some say doesn't need to be at all. Book says you don't need any. People like to put Loctite on everything to keep it from vibrating and falling apart. But you know what? If you torque everything to the right torque value, then you won't have a problem with anything falling apart. So no Loctite. You have an O-ring to squash. It gets torqued to 90 inch-pounds on the Tourer. What we're doing at the moment is going around ever so slightly, tighten them until we just have a little grab on them. Yep, that's good. I have my torque wrench set to 90 inch-pounds. I need to take that off. Right, here we go. Going around, just tighten them slowly.
There's the click.
Beautiful. Okay, oil filter time. A little bit of lubricant on the seal, a little bit of oil in the filter. Not much though, about a third. should be enough.
About a third of the oil filter.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
How tight? Well, just firm, not too tight. And a third is enough just when the engine starts, just to have a bit of oil going through the oil system.
So the oil filter, new one, is back on.
Okay, putting 2 litres in to start.
This is for
Engine oil.
the engine, which is round the other side.
Okay, now putting 2 litres of engine oil in to start. Again, slowly but surely. You got to pour it fast enough so that it goes in and doesn't overflow the funnel, but not slow enough that it drips back along the jug. Which is always a bit of fun. Yeah, now I'm going to fill up another 2 litres.
Here goes. So the engine takes 4 litres.
It takes 4 quarts, which is 4 times 960 to 980, depending on what calculator you use and what country you come from. But that's close enough for 4 litres, because if you just put 960 by 4 in, you'll find you'll be adding more oil anyway.
Check it with the dipstick. It's looking
Full with vehicle upright. Perfect. Now, once we start the bike, it's going to continue to fill up the oil filter, so you might just need a little bit of a top up, but you've got to really start the bike and let it run for a bit to make sure the oil circulates, and check your oil after that.
well, the oil part is all done. We're going to have a cuppa, and then we're probably going to look at the air filter.
We have a great product in the shop that we're excited to share with you. Check it out on our site.
Okay, we've done all the oil side and all 3 holes. Now the next thing we want to do is clean the air filter. Now the air filter, in my case, I'm changing to a big sucker air filter, which is a bit more air to suck in. So I'll be putting a new air filter on. But if you're not doing that, to remove the air filter, you simply undo these 2, which is a 1/8 inch wrench, Allen key. And then a 3/16 for the inner bolts.
That looks like that needs a clean.
The whole bike needs a clean.
Yeah.
That's the problem with weather. When it's raining, it's not raining, it's raining, it's not raining. So that gives you access to your air filter. Now see, it needs a good clean. Now what I do is I use one of these trays, and then I can use the K&N air filter cleaner to spray it. And then I can also use a bit of degreaser if I want to spray. The K&N air filter is a specific type of K&N air degreaser. Now in my situation, I'm putting a new air filter on. So you can see it's just about a 1/4 inch thicker than that one.
You can definitely see the difference.
So that much thicker.
Yeah. Wow.
Cleaner that you use to clean that filter, which I'll show you in a minute. And this is the filter oil that you use to put the new filter on, and the filter oil I need to put on this new filter. Okay, we're just going to give this surface area a clean up. make sure it's all nice and clean. Make sure the breather pipes are on properly. Make sure the intake is clean. Get all the garbage out. Next thing we're going to do is give the filter a spray of the filter oil.
Do it somewhere like outside.
Yeah, outside. Yeah, always good outside. Somewhere you're not going to bother with oil.
It's pink. Yeah, but not too much.
Not too much, just enough. Just wipe any excess off. Around your face and anywhere else it might have got.
Did you get some on your face?
My face. That looks good. Give that a couple of seconds to dry. And the oil just keeps it basically a little bit water resistant. So the air can still go through, but the water can't. Put that on. Okay, also we're giving the backing plate a clean, making sure that's all clean before it goes back on the filter. You see all the black gunk that come out of it. Okay, so we put the cover in place, spacers inside, tightening the black, then the screws. So the screws come through the spacers. 3 hands are right, a little bit of blue thread locker on each bolt. We are there. We are there. Tighten them to 30 inch-pounds. Beautiful.
A little bit of Loctite on those bolts as well.
Tiniest little bit.
That's for the outer cover insert. Just an added bit to make it look pretty.
Yeah, you can buy them in any designs basically.
Yeah. Done.
Okay, so oils are done, air filter's done, and the next things we can do is basic look over the bike. So you may want to go and look over bolts, you know, maybe check tightness of bolts. I mean, some different bolts have different tightness specs, but don't over tighten them and don't break Loctite. They're 2 things you've got to think about.
Okay.
You can also then go on to check even wear on your tyres, your tyre thread depth, your brake pad thickness and your disc thickness. Make sure you've got appropriate thickness on your disc and appropriate meat left on your brake pads. Soon I'll be up for some brake pads, and Sue's also be up for some brake pads, so that'll be another video where we'll show you how to do brakes. You also want to go on then and check things that move and make sure they either need lubing or they're good, they don't have an issue. Linkages are tight, there's nothing wrong with any of your linkages, no looseness anywhere. And then also things like put a drop of oil down your cables if your cables feel a bit tight or you're having problems with your cables. Now, no issue with this one, brake cable's fine, hydraulic clutch hasn't got a cable, everything's tight that I've looked over.
So are they made out of cloth or are they made out of metal?
No, it's metal with many layers of cloth wrapped around.
Okay.
The air has to go through many layers of cotton to act as a filter.
And what are you using? K&N
This is oil filter cleaner.
oil filter clean, cotton oil filter cleaner.
Yep. So basically we're going to let that sit and then we're going to hose it off. Okay, couple more clean outs. Now this air cleaner was pretty dirty. It had a few lots of oil and lots of weather events. Spray from the inside out. Clean it and blow it out with some compressed air and good to go. Okay, now we just give it a blow. Okay, now you just let it sit to dry. Box it up, you can not box it up, you can do whatever, you can just sit there. But if you're going to store it for a future service, then you might want to put a lid on it, put it away, ready for a next service. Mystery item. What's in the box?
We have a presence on various social media platforms. Join our growing community on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, so you never miss out on the latest updates, events, content, and merchandise. 10.